Hello friends, welcome to my kitchen. Start with a piece of pork loin, about 2 pounds or 900 grams. Make deep cuts along the entire piece, but not all the way through, just enough to form small pockets. Take your time here. Even cuts help the meat cook evenly. Next, season the meat with a light sprinkle of salt. Then black pepper, not too much, just enough to bring out the natural flavor of the pork. 1 teaspoon of dried coriander. Friends, I always enjoy knowing where you're from. Please share your city and country, and if you're in the US, let me know your state. And 1 teaspoon of paprika. Then drizzle a little olive oil right over the top, about 1 tablespoon. Now rub everything in with your hands, making sure those flavors sink into every cut and corner. There's something so grounding about this step. Just you, the scent of the spices, and the feeling that you're making something wonderful from scratch. If you have any questions about the recipe, don't hesitate to drop them in the comments, and I'll reply as soon as I can. Crush 3 cloves of garlic with the side of a knife. Then chop them finely. Garlic gives the meat that familiar warmth and aroma, the smell that always makes a home feel alive. Friends, if you enjoyed the video, a like would be much appreciated. It's the best way to support me.
Child, I know you're hurt and you can't let go. It's not your fault and you don't deserve.
Rub the chopped garlic all over the pork.
All the bad and the hurt. I know you tried so hard.
Gently pressing it into those cuts.
It's not fair. You did your time.
Friends, if you like my content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications for more recipes like this.
But don't give up. Just hold on tight. It'll be alright.
Now, take 2 onions and slice them into half rings. Onions don't just bring sweetness and depth, they help keep the meat juicy as it bakes. And they're wonderful for us too, full of antioxidants, great for heart health, and gentle on the immune system, just like the ingredients our mothers and grandmothers trusted in their kitchens.
I know you've tried so hard. I know you've done your part. It's not fair. You did your time. How much longer will you suffer?
Slide the onion slices right into each pocket you made earlier. It looks beautiful already, layers of gold and white, tucked between the pink of the pork.
I know you tried so hard. I know you've done your part. It's not fair. You did your time.
Once that's done, tie the pork with kitchen string so it holds its shape while roasting. Don't pull too tight, just enough to keep everything snug.
Just hold on tight. It'll be alright. I know that you know I saw it.
Now take your baking sheet, already lined with foil and parchment paper. They'll caramelize underneath and flavor the meat beautifully. Place the pork on top. Wrap it first in parchment. Then in foil. Bake in a preheated oven at 360 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius for 60 to 70 minutes. Now, while the meat roasts, let's prepare a light, colorful eggplant salad. Slice one eggplant into rings, such a simple vegetable, yet full of fiber and wonderfully gentle on digestion, making it the perfect partner to rich pork dishes. Then cut those rings into thin strips. I always love this step, the soft sound of the knife, the deep purple color on the board. It feels like preparing something bright and wholesome for the family. Place the strips into a bowl. Sprinkle with 1 teaspoon of salt. Mix with your hands. The salt will draw out the extra moisture and soften the texture. Let them sit for about 15 minutes. Now, let's make the glaze for the pork. It's what gives that glossy golden finish. Cut 1 orange in half. Squeeze out all the juice. I always love this moment. The bright citrus aroma fills the air and instantly lifts the mood. Once you've collected the juice, pour it into a saucepan. Add 2 tablespoons of brown sugar and about 2 ounces or 50 milliliters of soy sauce. Turn on the heat to medium and stir constantly. As it warms, the sauce thickens and turns shiny, sweet, tangy, and fragrant. When it reaches a syrupy consistency, remove it from the heat and let it cool slightly. When the pork has baked for about an hour, take it out carefully, unwrap the foil and parchment.
Just hold on tight. It'll be alright. All your life you've tried.
Now, brush the meat generously with the orange glaze, covering every side. As you do, you might feel that little moment of joy, the same one we had watching our mothers glaze their holiday roasts, knowing that something special was about to come out of the oven. Return it to the oven, uncovered, and bake it for another 20 to 30 minutes. Then rinse eggplant strips lightly. Pat them dry with paper towels.
It's not fair. You did your time. How much longer will you suffer in this life? But don't give up.
Next, warm a little olive oil in a frying pan over medium heat. Once the oil warms up, add the eggplant strips. Stir gently so they cook evenly. Eggplant soaks up oil quickly, so don't rush. Let it fry slowly until it's golden and soft, about 7 to 8 minutes.
Don't give up. Just hold on tight. It'll be alright.
When they're ready, transfer them to a large salad bowl. Next, slice a handful of cherry tomatoes. Their bright red color always lifts the mood of any dish, and they're packed with antioxidants and vitamin C, giving this salad a little boost of goodness with every bite. Add them to the bowl. Now finely chop 2 cloves of garlic. Garlic adds that spark of flavor that ties everything together.
A warning shot for the other boys. Give my thanks only like an ex could. Now I know I made the right choice. Oh, 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 oh. I'm so done with you.
Add it to the bowl as well.
So done.
Now, chop a small bunch of fresh coriander. Fresh herbs don't just make food prettier, they help our digestion and bring lightness to the meal.
To the same old ways. Yeah, I'm so done with you. Oh, I'm done, I'm done, I'm done. Yeah, I'm done, I'm done, I'm done.
Add everything to the bowl. Sprinkle in 1 teaspoon of salt,
So done.
1 teaspoon of black pepper, then add 1 tablespoon of Philadelphia cheese for a creamy touch. Drizzle some olive oil over the top.
Thought you changed, but you go back to the same.
Now toss everything gently with a spoon.
I'm so done.
The colors, gold, red, and green, look so beautiful together, and the smell is just lovely.
That it made you feel good.
Now take the pork out of the oven. Carefully cut away the kitchen string, taking your time. I always love this moment, the way the roll gently loosens, and you can already see the soft onions and juicy meat inside. It feels a little like unwrapping something made with love. To serve, simply place a few of those warm, tender pieces onto a plate. Add a spoonful of the eggplant salad beside them. The balance of flavors, savory, sweet, fresh, and bright, feels like a little celebration of home cooking. Tender, juicy pork with an orange glaze and a refreshing eggplant salad. Simple ingredients, cooked with love, bringing comfort and color to your table. I hope you try this recipe at home and share it with your loved ones. Thank you for cooking with me today. But don't go just yet. There's another cozy and tasty recipe I'd love to share with you. 2 pounds or 900 grams of ground beef, placing it into a large mixing bowl. Crack in 2 eggs. Season the meat with 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, and 1 teaspoon of paprika for that gentle warmth. Next, grate 1 medium onion. As you do, it releases that sweet, sharp aroma that instantly feels like home. I always think of evenings when the house grew quiet and the smell of onions and spices filled the air. Add the onion right into the bowl. Now, finely chop a small bunch of fresh parsley. Such a simple herb, yet it brings everything to life. Those tiny green flecks look like little sparks of freshness, and the scent, bright and earthy, always makes me smile. Parsley isn't just pretty, it's packed with vitamins and helps balance the richness of the meat. Add it to the bowl. And now comes my favorite part, mixing. Forget the spoon, use your hands. There's something grounding about it, almost meditative. You feel the cool meat, the soft texture of the parsley, the spice working their way through. It's how generations before us cooked, with patience, with intuition, with heart. Don't overmix, just fold everything together until it feels right. While the meat rests, let's start the side. Place 5 medium potatoes into a pot. Cover them with water. Add 1 teaspoon of salt, put the lid on, and let them simmer gently for 30 to 40 minutes until a fork slides in easily. Now, take a large sheet of parchment paper and lay it out on your counter. Place the seasoned beef on top and gently press it into a rectangle about 1 inch thick. Work slowly, shaping and smoothing the edges with your hands. There's something peaceful about this part, the simple rhythm of shaping food, turning raw ingredients into something beautiful. Next, melt a quarter stick, or about 30 grams of butter in a frying pan over medium heat.
It's not your fault and you don't deserve all the bad and the hurt.
Once it starts to foam, grate 2 cloves of garlic on a mini grater. That fragrance, rich, warm, a little sharp, always makes me think of family dinners where the whole house smelled inviting long before we sat down to eat.
I know you've done your part, it's not fair. You did your time.
Add it to the pan. Let it sizzle for a minute, just enough to release its flavor.
But don't give up. Just hold on.
Now, finely chop about 5 ounces or 150 grams of fresh spinach. Spinach always feels like a bit of magic to me, delicate at first, yet so full of strength. It's loaded with iron, calcium, and vitamins that make every bite feel a little healthier. When it hits the warm pan, it softens in seconds, turning glossy and deep green.
I know you've tried so hard.
Stir it gently until it's tender and most of the liquid has cooked off.
You did your time. How much longer will you suffer in this life? But don't give up. Just hold on tight. It'll be alright. I know you tried so hard. I know you've done your part. It's not fair. You did your time. How much longer will you suffer in this life? But don't give
Finally,
up.
spread the sautéed spinach evenly across your beef rectangle. Don't rush this part.
Be alright.
Smooth it out like you're painting something you love. I always think of my grandmother here, her hands steady and careful as she layered every filling with such care, as if she were tucking love right into the food. Because, in a way, that's exactly what we do, one thoughtful layer at a time.
Part of me thought you would have fought it. Can't say that I was surprised.
Pour a light drizzle of olive oil into a frying pan and let it warm over medium heat.
I'm so done with you.
Meanwhile, finely chop about 7 ounces or 200 grams of fresh mushrooms. There's a quiet rhythm to this task, the soft tap of the knife, the gentle sound of chopping, the scent that begins to rise even before they hit the pan.
I'm so done with you. I hope that it made you feel good. A warning shot for the other boys. Give my thanks only like an ex could. Now I know I made
Once chopped, add the mushrooms to the hot pan.
Oh, oh, oh.
Let them cook slowly, stirring every now and then. They'll first release their water. Don't rush it. Just let it evaporate naturally with time. They'll start to brown, their edges turning golden and their aroma deepening into something rich and nutty. The secret to perfect mushrooms is patience, that slow transformation from soft and pale to caramelized and full of flavor. When they're ready, take the pan off the heat. Now, Spoon the mushrooms gently over the spinach layer on your beef. Spread them evenly, not too thick, not too thin. Just enough so every slice will carry that wonderful earthy note. There's something almost peaceful about this part, like layering love into each piece. Next, grate 5 ounces, or about 150 grams of Emmental cheese. The soft curls fall lightly, like snow over a warm field. Emmental has that mild, nutty flavor and melts so beautifully, creating a creamy layer that ties all the other flavors together.
Oh my child, I know you're hurt and you can't let go. It's not your fault and you don't deserve all the bad and the hurt.
Scatter it evenly over the top.
I know you tried so hard. I know you've done your part. It's not fair. You did your time. How much longer will you suffer in this life? But don't give up. Just hold on tight. It'll be alright.
Now comes the moment I always love, rolling it all up. Use the parchment paper underneath to help you, rolling the beef carefully into a snug log. Take your time. Press gently as you go so everything stays. Even I always think of my grandmother here. The quiet patience she had in the kitchen. The way her hands moved with confidence and care. This step feels like that. Calm, intentional, and filled with heart.
I know you've tried so hard.
For the glaze, grab a small bowl and mix together 2 tablespoons of ketchup, 4 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of grain Dijon mustard, and 2 tablespoons of honey. Stir until it's smooth and glossy. This glaze has such a lovely balance. The honey adds warmth, the mustard brings a little tang, and the soy sauce deepens the flavor beautifully.
I know you've done your part. It's not fair. You did your time. How much longer will you suffer in this?
Place the roll on a sheet of foil and brush it all over with the glaze, coating it evenly. It's a bit like painting, isn't it? The brush gliding over, leaving everything shiny and full of promise.
Part of me thought you would have fought it.
Wrap the roll snugly in foil, sealing in the juices, and bake it in a preheated oven at 360 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius for about 1 hour.
I'm so done with you. Yeah, I'm so done with you. And I thought
While the roll bakes, let's turn our attention to the potatoes. Check if they're tender. A knife should glide in easily, drain them, and return them to the warm pot, letting the steam escape for a moment. Add 1/4 of a stick, or about 30 grams, of butter. Then pour in 2 fluid ounces, or 60 milliliters, of cream.
the other boys
Sprinkle in 1 ounce or 30 grams of grated Parmesan.
Next good. Now I know I made the right choice. Oh, 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 oh. I'm so done with you.
Start mashing, slowly, gently, watching the potatoes turn smooth and creamy. The butter melts in, the cream softens everything, and the Parmesan adds that wonderful, savory depth. This is one of those kitchen moments that feels like a pause, just you, the warmth of the pot, and the quiet joy of creating something comforting from scratch. About 10 minutes before the roll is done, take it out of the oven and carefully unwrap it. Brush it again with the remaining glaze, then return it to the oven uncovered for the final touch. As it finishes baking, the glaze caramelizes, turning golden and sticky, wrapping the meat in a glossy coat that smells absolutely irresistible. When it's ready, take the roll out. Then, slice gently. The crust gives a soft crackle as the knife glides through. Inside, you'll see the beautiful layers: juicy beef, tender spinach, golden mushrooms, and melted cheese, all holding together like a warm embrace. To serve, place a generous spoonful of the creamy mashed potatoes on the plate, soft, buttery, and steaming. Add a thick slice of the roll beside it, letting the savory juices trickle into the mash. Slice a few cherry tomatoes for a pop of color and freshness. Finish with a sprinkle of chopped parsley for that bright final touch. And there it is, a dish that feels like home, every layer built with care, every flavor blending like a story passed down through the years. I hope this recipe brings as much comfort and joy to your kitchen as it always brings to mine. Thank you for cooking with me today. Until next time, happy cooking!